right, everybody, welcome back into the channel. 2 days into the NFL season and two very fun one-score games. An outcome in this game that I don't think many expected, but the Los Angeles Chargers defeat the Kansas City Chiefs 27-21. And I don't normally take victory laps. I try to be humble as can be on the channel. So if you're new, apologies. I'm probably going to seem like an ass here for a second, but this is kind of exactly what I told you guys about these teams this off season. Kansas City, I thought there was going to be some regression. They were 11-1 last year in one-score games. They're already 0-1 this year. I thought there were still question marks on that offensive line, and I thought parts of that defense got exposed, especially the secondary in the Super Bowl, and teams are going to attack that again. That is what happened in this football game. And the Chargers, a lot of people were off of the Chargers after they had a pretty successful campaign last year. People were selling stock on them, especially after the Rashawn Slater injury. And while I don't love the injury for the Chargers Super Bowl odds per se, I said to myself, I said in the video to you guys, Justin Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, I'm not going to bet against that being a playoff combination, and I'm not going to bet against that being a winning team. And ultimately, that is what won the Chargers this football game, man. We have to start with none other than Justin Herbert, who put on an absolute fucking clinic in this game in Brazil, man. 25 of 34 for 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 131.7 passer rating as well. On top of that, added 32 rushing yards, including the game-sealing 19-yard rush on 3rd and 14 right before the 2-minute warning. Chargers fans, I know you were shaking in your boots because that is a game that the Chargers typically lose, man. In Charger fashion, that game normally, the ball gets back to Kansas City, Mahomes leads a drive, and all of a sudden Kansas City's winning 28-27. So if you're a Chargers fan, you're going to feel great about just a new era and a new leaf being turned under the Harbaugh-Herbert year 2. And Justin Herbert outplayed Patrick Mahomes tonight, plain and simple. Don't get me wrong, Mahomes played well. 258 passing yards, 1 touchdown through the air, 1 through the ground, 57 rushing yards. Like, Mahomes did all he could, especially without Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy getting hurt early in this game. So if you're a Chiefs fan, don't hear what I'm not saying. But Justin Herbert was phenomenal. He was the best player on the football field tonight. And he was dotting up that Kansas City defense over and over again, standing in the pocket, escaping when he needed to. Big run at the end of the game. Great just vision overall from Herbert. Everything that we all know for anybody who is a massive Justin Herbert believer, anybody that you've heard talk about Herbert, where they list the characteristics that make him an elite ceiling player, we saw in this game. The arm talent, the ball placement, the size, the strength, the mobility. It was all on display tonight from Justin Herbert. And we saw Chargers receivers step up. Quentin Johnston, former first-round pick, maybe finding his own. 5 for 79 for 2 touchdowns. I don't think he's ever going to be a premier wide receiver 1 in the league, but he's figuring out his role. Ladd McConkey, 6 for 74, very solid. Keenan Allen was huge, a guy who just signed with this team like in the last month and was named a captain because, of course, obviously his veteran status with the organization. 7 for 68 and a touchdown. The Chargers have a really solid weapons core, especially when you consider Trey Harris a rookie wide receiver. You look at the running room, Omarion Hampton, I thought looked solid in this game. Kansas City had one of the best rush defenses in football last year, and it looks like they're still going to have that, so I wouldn't judge him based on the lackluster numbers, but this is what we talked about in the offseason with the Chargers, guys. A little bit of a transition moving off of some of their older defensive talent to more offensive talent and a more balanced team. And I thought we saw it on full display. The picture that was painted by the Chargers in this game was exactly the picture that I pictured for them going into this season. Jim Harbaugh, hell of a coach, gets the team motivated. That shit coming out of the halftime too, that was really weird. Harbaugh and the Chargers are out there ready to go when they're supposed to. Kansas City then coming out of the locker room late. I don't even know what the hell happened there, to be honest. But again, I think that's the culture. Jim Harbaugh had his team ready to go, on time, ready for battle. And they came out early in this game and were ready to roll, man. A 3-and-out forced by the defense and then an immediate touchdown drive. The tone was set early on in this contest by LA. And this is a playoff team. Again, the Rashawn Slater injury really sucks, and I think it could limit their ceiling this year. But for the people that thought that the Chargers were going to fall to below 500 or be a losing team, even my co-host on my weekly podcast, Javon, had them as a 5-6 win team. I thought it was ludicrous. You have a top 10 quarterback, a top 10 head coach, a defense that was number 1 last year in points per game allowed. Yeah, some talent was gone, but this is still going to be a high-level unit. And we saw it on display tonight. Mahomes had to backpack the team for every single play, it felt like. You have great offensive skill pieces. McConkey, Keenan Allen still looking sharp. Quentin Johnston as a deep threat. Omarion Hampton now. This is a two-dimensional offense. This is a very, very good Chargers team, and a team that shouldn't have been overlooked, and a team that week 1, we're not overreacting here. This is what I thought coming into the season. This is what I thought coming into the year, and it showed to be true in this game. Flowers to Jim Harbaugh, flowers to Justin Herbert, flowers to Keenan Allen, who I think like very much so could also get an MVP nod for this game. That's obviously to Herbert, but if you were listing the players of the game, number 1, Justin Herbert, number 2 to me, Keenan Allen. Had the big touchdown in the second half, picked up multiple first downs, was a real safety blanket, and really, really shined tonight. The Chargers are not a team to overlook. For Kansas City, listen, am I worried about Kansas City? I think that would be a stretch, right? Kansas City could even go 0-2 and lose to Philly next Sunday, and I still wouldn't be worried about the Chiefs. As long as number 15, Patrick Mahomes is out there and Andy Reid's coaching and Spags is on that defense, this team has life, okay? I'm not stressed about that. Losing Xavier Worthy early in this game, no Rashee Rice. When you are facing a good defense, that is going to be an uphill battle. The Chargers are a good defense. Mahomes did really all he could. There was a couple throws early on in this game that I thought Mahomes could have done better at. Felt like week 1 sloppiness, but in a 1-score game, you do think back to some of those plays. His first 2 deep ball attempts, he overthrew both receivers. There was an out route to Hollywood Brown that went a little too far. Him and Travis Kelce had some miscommunication in the red zone when they ended up getting that field goal at the end of the game. So little things there, but little things do add up throughout the game. But at the end of the day, Mahomes was Mahomes. His rushing ability really kept them in this football game. His ability to constantly pick up first downs, run when he needed to, that rushing touchdown to open the game. That throw on the run that he had to Hollywood Brown in the fourth quarter of this game to really just keep it alive on that 4th down was insane work. Like, that is a throw that I'm not sure anybody other than maybe Josh Allen could make in the league. Rolling to his right with that kind of momentum and speed, cross body, some 40, 50, 60 yards down the field, and get that ball to Hollywood Brown. That's a tough ball, man. And that's plays like that are where we're reminded how great Patrick Mahomes is. And Kansas City stuck to their guns, man. They said that they were going to try and get more explosive plays, and they did, even with Worthy coming out of the game. You saw Thornton, you saw Hollywood Brown. Obviously, Hollywood Brown was 10 for 99 in this game. He became the primary weapon. Juju Smith-Schuster out there as well. It's not a great weapon score. I do still question Kansas City's rushing attack. Pacheco and Kareem Hunt didn't look great to me. So is the offense two-dimensional? Something to be determined. A young offensive line, Jawan Taylor, just a hell of a penalty drawer. The guy just gets a flag, it feels like, every other play. Simmons got a flag in this game, a young offensive lineman. I thought that the NFL did them a little dirty early on in the season as that offensive line is finding itself. The Rashee Rice suspension. You get the Chargers, a division team in Brazil, and then the week after you got to host Philly, who just beat you in the Super Bowl. We'll see. I think it's an uphill battle for Kansas City. There's a reason I predicted them to come back down to earth this season and not win this division, but be a playoff team, still be a double-digit win team. I didn't think what they did last year in 1-score games was repeatable, even when you had somebody as good as Patrick Mahomes. But as far as football games go, statistically, this was about as close as you can get to a game on paper, looking through some of these team stats. Kansas City, 18 first downs to the Chargers, 22 first downs. Total yards, Kansas City, 347. The Chargers, 394. in terms of time of possession, 27 and change for KC, 32 and change for the Chargers. Penalties, Kansas City 10 for 71, the Chargers 6 for 49. So 22 yards additional in penalties there for Kansas City. Those little things can certainly be the difference, but this was a close game. This AFC West is going to be an absolute dogfight this year. This was a massive, massive win for the Chargers, as an organization. I think that this game was always going to mean more to the Chargers. And leaving this game with a win, I think, is a massive tone setter for the Chargers season of like, hey, people were doubting us, the Slater injury, but we can compete for this division. We have a top 10 quarterback in the sport. We have a top 10 head coach in the sport. And while we may be overlooked, we're not those same old Chargers anymore. For Kansas City, obviously a tough blow to lose any game, especially a one-score game that you think, if you're Patrick, you think, damn it, if I just had one more time with the ball, I could have changed the outcome here. But again, it's Kansas City. Nobody should be overreacting and writing the Chiefs off after 0-1. I wouldn't do it after 0-3. Shit. Kansas City could open up the year 0-4, and I'd be like, yeah, but they're still the Chiefs, man. They're still dangerous. So, it is what it is there. Justin Herbert, hell of a day. Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, if you love the NFL and you're not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, hit that button. I am doing instant reactions to every primetime game just like this. Weekly recaps every Monday, Tuesday tier lists every Tuesday, a Wednesday podcast, and so on. If you love football, hit that subscribe button. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.